golden voice of Neal Ruhl, live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Hey, yo, back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. Old Uncle Terry is back in the building. Terry Foster, Detroit sports media icon, legend, whatever kind of descriptive words you want to use. We have Sam Flannel. We have Spencer Raxter. D-Max away with Detroit Red Wings fantasy camp or whatever it is he's got going on. But T-Foss, you and I will hold it down today.
Hopefully we will. And hopefully we'll do it in peace and harmony.
Yeah, well, yeah. That is the case usually for about 75% of a given show between you and I.
I thought you were going to say for 75 seconds, but
no. I would say 75% is a good number.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
It's a lot more civil when we're sharing a bourbon together, but we're not right now.
Well, because we're in chill mode then.
Absolutely, we are.
There's nothing wrong with the world.
Right. You're absolutely right though. But we're at it here. We are locked and loaded, ready to go. Certainly going to be some Lions discussion here today. There are a couple of topics. Terry Foster and I stumbled upon one about 8 minutes ago. We do have differing opinions as far as it's concerned. So we're going to break those down as well. We are going to do some Piston stuff today too. We got a Pistons little slot on the
Sounds
sheet
good.
there.
Yeah, because they feel they're different now.
Wrapped up media day. We'll discuss that as well. Troy Weaver said some things that maybe you perked up your ears to a little bit, I guess you could say.
Because I want to know what the meaning of this is. He used the word competitive. Now they're above water. And I want to know exactly what does that mean for the Detroit Pistons.
Right.
That mean you're going to finish above 500? Does this mean that people are not going to beat you by 25 every night? That you're going to go in overtime more often? What exactly does this mean?
We will discuss that. The Red Wings started preseason yesterday with a bang, Terry Foster. They went down to Pittsburgh and thrashed the organization that has the longest current playoff streak in the NHL, the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's a new day, T-Foss. My guy Zadina scoring, sniping goals. You see that one, Spence?
That was nice.
All right, fellas, be careful.
No, T. All gas, no brakes. Stanley Cup Finals, 2-4-8.
Is the NHL going crazy? Because didn't you say the Red Wings had the number 4 longest odds?
My son actually texted me a link to an ESPN story. They did their NHL power rankings, and they had the Red Wings at number 4 in the NHL.
Let's go. Hockeytown's back.
All right, I got an easy question for you. At the end of the season, will the Wings finish above number 4 or below number 4?
Below.
Yeah. I think we know that one.
I'm bullish. Obviously, we're all bullish on Steve Yzerman. I think he's probably the biggest buy of any GM in this town right now. Yeah. I think that's fairly easy to say. However, let's not do the number 4 in the. You know what I'm saying? Haven't we learned, Terry? Have we learned? Yeah. Have we learned though yet? Have we learned, guys?
We have not learned,
and we're never gonna.
We will never learn. But the thing I like, every team except the Tigers came out talking shit. I mean, Dan Campbell, said we're going to be different. Everything is different here. Let me see. The Pistons are talking about we're not going to be candy asses. We're going to be tough. And the Red Wings are coming out the gate.
Yeah, but this isn't the Red Wings doing that. This one is ESPN and all the entities and stuff like that.
But all of our teams are being – well, the Lions were spoken highly of by outsiders. It wasn't just us.
Right.
So all the teams are getting love. Now the thing is, can they give love back?
And that is what we're waiting on. But we're gonna break all that stuff down as well. Again, some Lions injury concerns. Our guy, Spencer Raxter, in the heavyweights. Talked to Malcolm Rodriguez. We'll pick Spencer's brain on that, see what Malcolm had to say. You guys,
they didn't talk to him. It was an exclusive
interview.
Yeah.
In all capitals on the Woodward Sports pages, woodwardsports.com. Exclusive in all capitals.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a listen, everybody.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a good.
When we're done.
Second exclusive the heavyweights have gotten from Malcolm Rodriguez.
Oh, right, absolutely. Guys, remember, you can get involved, too, in our WoodwardSports.com chat page as well. Live time here as the show is going on. Detroit Dabber 313, the first in, as usual, says, what up, doe? And we're happy to have all you guys in there. Tammy Chin says, waiting to see who will be in goal tonight. Ned, and Huso. We're easy, Tammy. We're not breaking down. I'm not breaking down the preview. We're one segment. Who do you got in goal tonight for the Red Wings in the preseason?
They got Ned and Olkinora.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Ned and Olkinora, whoever that is.
You know who I said should be in the goal tonight? Who cares?
Yeah.
Real quick, though. This is as deep as I'll go. It was pretty cool to see Kosa out there kind of holding his own. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, only let up one goal.
Yeah. Just kind of holding his own out there. It was cool to see.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not going to lie. That's as far as I'm going. And it was cool to see Zadina score that goal.
Just be careful.
And it was cool.
Be careful.
I'm not calling for a 50-goal season. I'm not saying he's arrived or anything like that. The goal was a cool goal. I'll leave it at that. Why couldn't you have done that last year at some point?
Because it wasn't the preseason. You can do things magically in the preseason that you can't do in the regular season.
Yeah. So it is. It's one of those things where I'm excited about what I saw. I'm not going to run away with it. Other thing I saw last night on social media. I'm not going to take a ton of time on this one. In relation to baseball, you have that for the people to take a look at, Spencer?
Yeah,
no?
I can grab it real fast.
Okay. I saw this tweet come across Twitter last night concerning the Atlanta Braves, and it was wild to me. And look, yes, the Tigers are still playing, and now they're going to win 4 in a row to avoid having a 100-loss season. That's what made me mad about the Tigers before. If you're going to do it, do it. You're a 100-loss team. You might not get there, but you can't fool me. You're a 100-loss team. You can't win 4 in a row over the Royals or whatever.
Well, it just shows they have pride. And they won 6 in a row earlier in the year.
Yeah, I know. That's great. And yes, baseball's still going on. Mercifully, it's fine. This is the last week of it, finally. I believe there's only 7 days left of Tiger baseball for the. And look, most people don't care, and I understand that. I'm with you. I've checked out a while ago as well. But there are people, Terry, in this town, and I'm not going to tell you what to do with your time. They check in with every game. But I saw this tweet from Tommy Poe that says, "Good morning. Your world champion Atlanta Braves are 8 games away from completing a 162-game season without a sacrifice bunt. It has never happened in the history of baseball." Like, the baseball people out there, the ones you that still do like baseball, does that bother you at all? Because baseball, very much traditionalist fan base. You know what I'm saying? They like things the way it is. That really made my eyes pop when I read it. It is a new day, Terry.
I am surprised by that, but there's been talk that the sacrifice bunt hurts you.
Well, yeah, because you only get 20. You get 27 outs. You're giving one away.
I've been hearing this for a few years, so I figured this is nothing surprising, but I guess it is.
Chicks dig the long ball.
And strikeouts.
And strikeouts, yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. In our WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Jeremy Anderson says, "I watch them all, baby. Still love the Tigers. Go Tigers." So, it's... And Jeremy Anderson says, "I don't give an F what the Braves do." No, but I think, and I get that. Like, I understand that. But that was pretty sobering to me that it has shifted all the way, Terry. The analytics, and we're seeing it in sports all over, don't get me wrong, but it was one of those things that it's there, but until you see it, you don't recognize it, I guess.
Yeah,
That's wild to me.
Well, the thing that I've always thought, okay, you have a man on first with nobody out. What are the chances, what you're trying to do, you're afraid of the double play. But what are the chances of that guy hitting into a double play? It's pretty slim. It does happen. Or you don't advance the guy. But if that, guess what? You got 2 more opportunities to get him home, and the bunt is just giving away outs. So I think I would gamble more and just say, it depends on who's up the bat. If it's a bad hitter, I might say, okay, bunt. If you have the pitcher, yeah, go bunt. But I got to do this.
But no more pitcher batting. So
I know,
yeah.
but if I got a guy raking, I'm gonna say, dude, go at it. I trust you.
Yeah, and it does, because I've always said that too. I always thought bunting was stupid, and everybody called. Remember this? Fans all the time.
You couldn't say that before.
Back when the Tigers were good. Remember, people were like, they never bunt. They never do the fundamentals. I'm like, bunt for what, man? You get 27 outs. That's it. Why do you give one? Why do you want to play with 26?
Well,
25?
I heard a guy we're having a conversation. When the Tigers were slumping this year, he said maybe they should bunt to get out of a slump. How do you bunt to get out of a slump? Just so you see the ball hitting the bat. I didn't get that one.
Akil Baddoo had a bunt single last night.
Of course he did.
He's been playing
And
well.
so that's going to turn him
This
around.
month, he is. He has.
What are you doing in my car?
Yeah, I know. But he's been playing well this month. He has.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I wonder if the Uber driver in Toledo
So
said
is
that.
Javi Baez. He still
But
strikes out 30 times.
You know
but-
what? You're right. But Javi Baez has created so much damage.
Yeah.
He could bat 1,000 the rest of the season, and we would still say he sucks.
That's probably true.
People talk about your wardrobe here today. It always devolves into that here in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Uncle Snoop 48213 says T-Foss just missing the mink in the pimp cup. LOL.
Oh, wait a minute. Today I'm calm. You know what I'm getting next week? See this rascal? It's going to be red.
There we go.
I'm getting myself a red fedora, damn it.
Mike G says T-Foss hat looks like you covered the Black Sox in 1919. Did you ever have a little press thing on there?
No, I should get one.
That'd
All I
be-
got is a feather.
That'd be cool.
You should get a little press tag on there. I could do live reads for war bonds.
Right. I'm going to get a... You know what? You guys just... I'm getting a press thing.
I could do that. Uncle Sam needs you, everybody, at Woodward Sports.
War
Buy
bonds.
war bonds. Help us defeat the Germans.
But you know what I need? I need the press thing on here. But I need a zoot suit. Boxy shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Big shirt. Big loud tie.
D. Smitty is asking Jack Harrington at WoodwardSports.com chat thread, is this going to be the Yankees' year? No, they don't have good enough pitching. Period. End of story. The Astros are coming for them, as they always do. And look out for the Astros, man.
And now the Dodgers just too obvious.
Yeah, to me they are. I was big team Mets. You know who I'm smelling?
Cardinals.
The Braves, man.
The Braves again?
Yeah. Because remember, like, last year, how they won? Now they have Acuna back.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like the Cardinals, but they don't have Freddie Freeman. But
Yeah, I know.
I feel like the Cardinals are just on the back of Albert Pujols, like riding.
stop.
I'm not saying Albert Pujols is going to win them. But
No, I know. I'm saying don't stop, because I don't want that.
We're riding them out into the sunset.
The Cardinals are up there for me for teams I hate.
Really?
I hate the Cardinals.
I do too.
I hate them.
What do you guys hate success? What do you hate about the Cardinals?
Yeah,
You know why?
Because they beat us in 06.
I mean, that makes sense.
They're a snobby baseball town.
They are.
They're the Neal rules of baseball.
I mean, they don't have anything else. You know,
They don't. They
had
lost
the
their
Rams
football
for a little
team.
bit. Yeah.
Winning a World Series with
They
83
just-
regular season wins.
All they have is beer.
And it's not even good beer.
It's not. But we took a tour of that factory.
That's probably cool.
Kids wanted to teach them about beer. We actually saw. Budweiser is cured with beechwood.
Beechwood aging. It says it on the
Right.
can.
We saw beechwood. It's like a little twisty piece of wood, and that's what they make their beer with.
Oh, okay. And now I mess with Natural Light, like camping. That's like my official camping beer.
You know what else
Can't
you
go
can make
wrong.
fun
Yeah.
of St. Louis about? When they try to rally the troops or rally the crowd during a game, you know what they play? The Budweiser song.
Oh.
It's like, come on, let's go, Cards. And they go, bzz, 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 boom, 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 boom. That's so stupid. That'd be like us playing.
Forward down the field.
Well, that's the dumb song, but at least it's not a commercial.
That's fair. It's like us playing the Little Caesars song.
Right.
All right,
Caesar's pizza.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll. We'll roll it in through the next segment. Do you hate the Cardinals? I'm talking about, I hate them. I hate them at like Aaron Rodgers levels.
I think the only baseball team I hate is the Yankees.
I hate the Cardinals way more than the Yankees.
Really?
I mean, I don't like the Yankees.
I hate the Red Sox too, just because. I mean, I hate most Boston teams.
Yeah, and that's fair. But I hate the Cardinals. I think they're up there with the White Sox. They're up there with the Twins for me. They are.
Really?
Like it's 1 and 1A. I hate the Twins. Hate the Twins. Just Minnesota in general.
Yeah.
Like the Vikings. Oh my God, the Twins with that stupid Metrodome.
I don't mind the Vikings.
You
I don't know
don't
why
like
you
this?
hate the Vikings so much.
Yeah. Oh God, that horn is awful. But yeah, WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Do you hate the Cardinals? I'm curious about that. I want to see where everybody's at. Let me tell you where I'm at. I'm with the burgers and the loaded fries at Big Boy because for a limited time only, the all-new
Burgers and fries
are back at Big Boy. It's not just a Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim. The chili cheese. You know that's a tease. And guess what else is new? It's the old Bacon Blue. Upgrade the fries.
Do it.
Come on, you guys. Chili cheese fries?
You better do it.
Baked
that
potato
rhymes.
fries?
You know you want to do it.
Nacho fries?
You have
Goated on the stick. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Burgers and fries.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Hey, Neal, Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning. Join the Pepper Club at Chili Peppers Tanning. Get access to all the best deals. Take a look at the unlimited tanning options. They'll beat all the competitors' prices by at least $5. Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. What else do you want from a tanning place? All of it at chilipepperstanning.com, where you can find out which one of the 26 Metro Detroit locations work best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, y'all.
Chili peppers, Dan.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac out the rest of the week with Red Wings Fantasy Camp, Sam Flannel, Spencer Spenmo Racks here in the building as well. The away fan, our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I do like the Kansas City Royals. I don't like the Cardinals or the Dodgers. I would say out of like all the divisional rivals or whatever, since you play them 100 times a year, the Royals are probably the one I like the most.
I don't mind the Guardians.
See, I don't like them either.
I mean,
So I hate all the teams from Chicago.
Yeah, the White Sox and the Twins.
I'm with that for sure. I hate the White Sox. I hate the Bears. Hate the Bulls.
But mine is personal. When I covered the Pistons, whenever we went to Chicago, people associated with the teams are always dicks to you.
Yeah, people in Chicago hate people from Detroit.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I got it good. We went to see the Lions Bears one time in Chicago. And the Lions kicked a field goal, take a 3-0 lead. Then it was 28-3 Bears.
Yeah.
And dude was giving it to me good. He's like, it was a great line. It was. I even told him, I'm like, respect.
Yeah.
He goes, you know, the good thing about Greyhound is they go everywhere. You don't have to go back home.
Oh.
You can go anywhere in America. You don't have to go to Detroit. I
That's
was like,
pretty good.
That's fair.
My friend Darius went to Chicago and they asked him if he paid with his welfare to get these tickets. I was like, jeez.
Yeah, I traded him a block of cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Do you hate the Cardinals? I hate them, man. I absolutely. And it's 50-50.
So, but I don't think people pay attention to the Cardinals. They're
So
not-
2006 doesn't bother people? Bothers me.
Well, that was the Tigers'
20 years
fault.
ago, Neal.
I know, but it would have changed the narrative about everything, though.
Yeah.
For
I
real.
feel bad for, like, I wanted it for Mr. I. And just like against the Giants, you wanted it for
So
Mr.
we hate
I. You
the
wanted it for the
Giants
city.
too?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
The Giants were just an unescapable power. When they
Every other year.
they had Tim Lincecum coming out of the bullpen that year, that was insane.
Every other year they were a beast. I don't know. I never. Plus, I liked Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds, my favorite non-Tiger player of all time. So
Fair.
spent a lot of time watching Giants games and stuff like that. So that's it. Lions.
Yes.
You and I kind of discovered this, and look, we'll talk about the injury
Are
stuff.
we falling for the fake?
But about 8 minutes before we went on air, T-Foss and I got in kind of a mini debate. And it's interesting because I feel like when I do these, when I do these debates or whatever, do these topics, sometimes I feel like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. But what T-Foss said to me got my guard up, like I squared up and stuff like that.
That's what I do.
Yeah, and I am prepared, I think, to die on the hill for it, T-Foss. What did you say to me about 8 minutes before the show? And I want to ask the people. So, we can escape that one 50-50. I'm surprised that people don't hate the Cardinals. But T-Foss, because I want to know this too. And we can go to on the WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Is it SOL right now? Is it SOL? I want to know where the people are because T-Foss, you say yes.
I say that it is right now.
Is it SOL right now? Yeah.
But a lot of people are going to say no because I think this year we've been programmed to believe so much in Dan Campbell, believe so much in Brad Holmes, that even if our eyes are telling us nothing has changed, we're saying things are different. We have been besieged by Dan Campbell, and what he has done, I think, is he's changed our mindsets. For instance, let's go back to Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes did something that every Lion general manager does. He drafts players who are injured and don't play. What was the narrative in Detroit? That's okay. The right move. We love it. In years past, if somebody did the same thing, we attacked them, said they were stupid. We called them the smartest guy in the room. But Dan Campbell, I think, has changed our minds so much that we don't believe that. Now, let's look at the first 3 games of this season. First game was the fake comeback. And if this happened under Matt Stafford, we'd be saying, damn it, Pat Stafford. The Lions do just enough to lose. Bam. But what was the narrative this year? It's different this time. I can see a bright future with the Lions. They only lost by 3 points. Damn it, this team is good. So then they go to, let's go to the Minnesota game. Because they took care of business against the stupid Commanders, and everybody would do that. But against the Minnesota Vikings, ESPN did a thing, and 10 points up with 10 minutes to go, and they keep on rolling. 95% chance of winning that game. They lose it. Why did they lose it? Because the coach made, I don't want to call them dumb decisions, but questionable decisions. My man is aggressive all game, but at the end, he decides, let's play it safe and let's kick a 54-yard field goal that this guy has no shot at making. That's a dumb move.
It sounds funny when you hear somebody say it out loud, don't you? It does. It just sounds funny. Sorry, Terry, go ahead.
But it's a dumb move. And he has gotten a little bit of heat, but not as much as previous line coaches. Previous line coaches said, this is it. Same old Lions. I'm tired of this stuff. But I don't think the heat on Dan Campbell has been that great, because what we want to know this season is, we know he's a motivator, but can he coach? So far, this season, he has shown he's like all the rest of the line coaches. They can be solid for 58 minutes, but then they screw up at the end, or they make a real dumb decision. In the past, we would be outraged. This year, we're like, Dan Campbell, it's going to be different. So I have a question for you, because I know you got a look on your face.
No,
like
I'm thinking.
Got gas.
No, you got me
I'm gonna
thinking.
make your ass think even harder.
Okay.
From this point forward, for the rest of the season, because we saw the Lions kind of come back last season, are we going to see more same old Lions for the rest of the season, or will it be more, oh, damn, this team is different? That's your question.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when we did this 8 minutes before the show, and I just told, like, I was ready to die on the hill about it. And people, you're resonating with some of the people in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. A lot of it, damn, Terry's right. Ghostface on our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. We always got injured effing players. ACAV says, don't usually agree with Terry, but he's right on target with this analysis. And the coaching stuff, you're right, Terry. But that backs up to the same question that I've had since it started, through the first season, through Sunday's game. Can he coach? I've been consistent with that. Can he coach? But here's the difference with me, why it's not same old Lions. Because while, yes, Brad Holmes stepped up to the crap table and kind of rolled the dice with Jameson Williams, because it's a roll of the dice. It is. And Paschal, obviously, with his story, he hasn't seen the field yet. For me, he has that luxury because the one thing he's doing differently is getting guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown's, Spence and Easy's, bestie, Malcolm Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
Penei Sewell get the gold jacket. Like, these are dudes, man. Like, these are good football players. And, yeah, Sewell was a first-round pick. So I don't, I celebrate him because I think that he's probably one of the odds-on favorite to be a Hall of Famer from that first round. Jamar Chase obviously has a good look at it too. But there will be few Hall of Famers that come out of that first round. I think Penei Sewell will be one of them. But the thing that makes it not SOL to me is the Amon-Ra St. Browns, the Malcolm Rodriguez, guys that can play. Even Lalim McNeil can play. They never get those guys, Terry. Never. Even not since the late 80s. When you got like the Jerry Balls and the Ray Crockett's and like guys that could play. They haven't done that ever throughout the course of the last 2 decades. So that is not SOL. Because that's what other teams do all the time. Whenever there's a Super Bowl, every year without fail, I take a look at that roster and I see who they drafted. And there's always an offensive lineman from the 5th round. There's always a defensive back from the 4th round. There's always a linebacker from the 3rd round. There's a running back from the 2nd round. There's a receiver from the 6th round. Always. Every single Super Bowl team. Always. They're built like that, dude. And that's why the Lions could never be good. It is very simple. Sports are very simple. Draft. That's it. Draft.
And don't pay your players.
Well, we've gotten to that point though, where it is. And I'll give you the example. The Zadina thing. It's totally different now, right? 3rd line guy at under $2 million a year. Now 20 goals is a luxury versus an expectation.
I thought you were going to bring up Kenny Galladay again.
Well, guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who, oh, by the way, his whole rookie contract is less than Kenny Galladay will make this month. Those are the winning moves, guys. I've been saying it for a year now. Those are the winning moves. That's why it's not SOL, Terry, from a front office perspective. And the coach can be easily replaced. Easily fixed. The guy drafting the players cannot. Those guys are hard to come by. How do I know we haven't had one in 25 years here? That's how I know it's hard. So that's why it's not to me, Terry. Your opinions are valid. They are correct, and I have a lot of concerns about the coaching aspect of it. But you can fix that with the stroke of a pen.
So you're just gonna get rid of him.
If as we continue to amass more data, Sam Flannel,
You're allowed to change your opinion.
And it can be fixed. And I'm not saying that's a this year thing. I'm not saying that.
I don't know this for a fact, but here's my concern. I'm not sure Brad Holmes has the authority to fire Dan Campbell if he doesn't think this is the guy. This is a unique situation for Detroit. 3 of the 4 coaches were not hired by the GMs. That's unprecedented.
That's pretty
Tigers, no. Lions, no. Only the Red Wings. Steve Eisner is the only one who's been able to hire his own coach.
Yeah. And our WoodwardSports.com.
And the Lions have in the past have had such a weird dynamic that a lot of times the GM doesn't have control over everything. It's the Ford family.
Yeah. WoodwardSports.com chat thread really quick. I'm Salty says, you can sit and scream how totally different this is, but until I see some wins, I ain't believing-ish. So, and hey, I get that, but I always go back to it, man. $18 million a year cap this year on Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins. You can't just gloss over that. You can't. It's a lot like Mike Phillips. You can't just gloss over him.
That's right, and whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the #1 option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Mike Phillips at 313-403-0011. Again, that is 313-403-0011. Game on.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it. Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac out this week with Red Wings Fantasy Camp, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Is it SOL right now? Whatever that means to you, is it? 64% of you say no. Terry Foster says yes. I say no with an asterisk because the guy cooking the meal is the best chef we've had in almost 3 decades. That's why.
Okay, but you have a waiter dropping the food in people's laps.
But, hey, we'll put the help wanted sign out front, T-Foss, and we'll go get somebody with experienced server. When I put the listing out there on Indeed or whatever it is, experienced servers only.
Okay.
High-level restaurant, exclusive restaurant, like the heavyweights interview with Malcolm, exclusive in capital letters.
Brother, do you know what the Lions like to do? They like to hire guys to learn on the job. This guy is learning on the job. Rod Marinelli, learning on the job. So that's their MO. Let's get somebody to learn on the job, they'll pick it up.
Right.
And normally they don't.
And it is still, that process. As I tell you guys, man, you can deny it, but you can't get away from the truth of the financial restrictions from the previous. You have to pay that penalty, man. That's why these guys got 6-year deals. When they walked in the office, they're like, "Look, we're gonna have to."
One guy got a 6-year deal.
Right. Oh, the other one got a 5-year deal. Right. Okay. That's why Brad Holmes got a 6-year deal.
Okay.
He laid it down. Said, "Hey, this is what This is what the costs look like. This is what it's going to take. Here's what we have to get out from under. There's going to be a 2-year window with that." It's the facts, guys. Like, I can't go look it up yourself. $18 million and change. Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins. He knew that walking in here. He said, "Hey, these are the hard costs with what's going to have to happen." But the setup, Terry, all these things that I talk about, and I know everybody wants to win right now, and I know Sunday really, really sucked because the players. What's the issue? What's the issue this team's had forever? The players aren't good, right?
Yeah.
The coach hasn't been good, but the players weren't good.
No, but you know what a bigger problem is? The Lions, in the past, when they sunk, when they were absolutely awful, they don't lose games 31-7 or 40-3 or 27-2 or anything like that. The Lions lose games, a lot of times, they are actually the better team that day, and they screw up at the end. This is, I can tell a young person who hasn't been watching the Lions, because I get this on Twitter. No, Terry, the Lions, the way they lose is they're behind by a lot and they rally and they lose by 3. That's not true. the majority of the Lions screw-ups have been you're up by maybe not 14 or 10 or something, but you're up 3 or 4 late in the game, and something happens. Whether the coach gets a brain freeze and throws a challenge flag when there's no challenge, or a coach goes for 3 and they should go for a touchdown, or the Bears kick a 54-yard field goal, or Buffalo, whoever it was, kicks a 60, or the Ravens kick a 6. Just stuff happens. That's what normally happens with the Lions. Stuff happens.
Which I get. I understand that.
And
but
guess
again,
what happened this weekend? Stuff happened. You had a 95% chance of winning that game, and you lost.
your coach didn't make the right decision.
Correct.
Like that's, you know how I know it wasn't the right decision?
They lost.
They lost, and it didn't
Right.
work.
Right.
So, I mean, hey, that's what it is. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Joey 2-time says, Holmes has misses too, many of them because he drafted them injured. But his hit rate is something we've never seen. So to me, and this is just me talking, he gets that extra leash to me because there's been production. So if he wants to roll the dice, I'm cool with it because he can go back and hand you the St. Browns and the Rodriguez's and the Sewells and the McNeils and stuff like that. He can hand you that. So for me, I'm all right with it because there has been results. There has been results. The Dan Campbell thing, though, we gonna see, and it's concerning. I don't care who you are. If you're the biggest Dan Campbell fan in the world, I don't care who you are. It's concerning, and that's fair. That's not being a hater or anything like that. And Terry, I'm not cussing you out on that, man, because that's fair. That's a fair question.
Words. No, but I understand where you're coming from. But I think the overriding thing, why the whole public, not just you, but the whole public, still believes in this team is because Dan Campbell was so demonstrative. Dan Campbell is so convincing.
Yeah, see, you know me, Terry. I'm not falling for that okie doke, though.
Well, you're a professional.
I'm not. I don't care about that at all.
I think the fans subconsciously,
some people do. Yeah,
that has resonated with them because because what was the first thing when people, damn, I'd run through a wall for this dude. I want to play for this guy. And this is the plumber, the dude working at Ford, the dude working at GM.
One of my best friends in the world. You hear me talk about him, Terminal Dennis. He talks about how he wants nothing more in the world than for Dan Campbell to work because he loves him. For real. Those are his words. Those are his words, man. There are people out there like him.
Right.
For me, it doesn't matter because, I would rather it work. But if it's not, because I know Brad Holmes is working. So if it gets down to that, to quote Eazy-E, we throw it in the gutter and go buy another. Like, that's what you do. You never expected any Eazy-E coming right there, did you, Spence?
No. It's always appreciated, though.
Yeah.
Unless Spencer introduced it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Mike G says, rule breaker going Herb Brooks. Lions, this is your time. The Packers' time, it's over. Screw them. Ludicorps, Woodward Sports locking up Neal's contract. Best deal in Detroit sports. I appreciate that, Ludicorps. Thanks a lot, man. Anthony Hurley says, really, if the coach is so easily replaced, why have we not had a competent coach in 25 years? Because you haven't had the players to have a competent coach.
Ford family. Because you have had incompetence up at the top.
You can't have a good coach without a good GM. You can't.
That's true. But once again, what do we allow the Lions to do? We allowed them to perpetrate the good old boys network here, and they went unchallenged. That's why
facts.
the Lions stink.
Yeah, and really, Terry, when you boil it down, it's not undifferent from a lot of businesses in the world. Where they're ran comfortably with their friends, and could they be better? Yeah, but it's just easier this way. I'm taking care of my people and all that kind of stuff.
But the Lions get guys who admit they're not qualified for the job. I go. Russ Thomas was not qualified for the job. He was a penny pincher. They brought guys from finance to run football operations, and then just kept going on and on and on and on. And no matter where you set up with the Lions, there was always a financial guy with his arms folded saying, it's a lot of money. I don't know if we want to do that.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Ricky Bobby says, I'm not giving him time. This is year 2. This team's got talent. Stop the excuses. Yeah, but Ricky, think about how much more talent you could have with $18 million to spend on your cap that you don't have because you're paying for people that aren't here. Like, you can't ignore that, man. Like, I know we want to and stuff like that. That's almost 10% of the cap, dude. Like, you can. Am I being real here, Sam Flannery? You tell me. You're a level-headed guy, except for the Heisman race. You know, you tell me.
Oh, no, you're definitely being level-headed because those guys literally don't play for you anymore, and they were to no fault of Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And in order to move ahead, you're going to have more cap space going forward, which means you can get more free agents. But I still think, I said it before and I'll say it again, the Lions need to win at least 6, strictly because of the roster upgrades Brad Holmes has made through the draft and the development. 6 minimum, 5 or below, and I'm calling for Dan Campbell's job after this season.
See, I that's where you lose me. And look, I'm not gonna die. You know, I'm not gonna die over that. Like, I'm not shocked and stunned. But Terry, like, why is it 6? You know what I'm saying? Like,
double from last year.
Yeah,
I know it's kind of arbitrary.
Yeah,
double from
that's
last
my
year.
point.
I get
like,
it.
yeah, that seems like a very NCAA type rule where they like say you can have bagels, but you can't put out accessories to put on the kids' bagels. Like, it seems like that's the way you woke up one day and said, how about 6? 6 sounds good.
It's double from last year, though. And is 6 really a big ask with this roster, with some winnable games on the schedule, like the Bears, for example, and at both New York teams? I'm just saying, I think that they need to win at least 6. That's not a big ask. That's 11 losses. Come on, guys.
Okay.
5 and 12.
I think the only way they could win fewer than 6 games is if Dan Campbell is a complete and total nincompoop.
Just melts down.
He just melts down. So that would mean you need to get rid of your coach. Because if they win 5 games, playing hard, he makes all the right decisions, and he still got that locker room, I don't think I would do it. But you have to see how these games play out. If he has another, or if he has a number of meltdowns and goof-ups like he did last week, then you got to look at it and say, okay, this guy is not qualified to run an NFL team. We got to move on.
Well, and that kind of goes to my point. If they win less than 6 games, it might be because Dan Campbell's game management decisions. I would think that probably at least a loss or 2 would be directly because of that. And that, I think, is a fireable offense.
There's one on the record.
Hey, there's a couple from last year, I would argue. I think Baltimore and Chicago against at home on Thanksgiving. I think those were clearly coaching decisions. There's one this year. And this isn't an internship. After a while, you got to clean that up or you're out. There are 32 of these jobs in the world, and Dan Campbell has one of them. And you can't just like chalk it up to he's learning on the job for too long. This is year 2, not an internship. You're the head coach of an NFL team.
Yeah, and there's a lot of gyms out there, but the reality is there's only one. That's right, Planet Fitness, the sponsor of our Woodward Sports Studio, home of the judgment-free zone. You can work out for just $10 a month for access to your home club. Come on, guys. What are you waiting on? You pass a couple on the way home, pull in the parking lot and join right there. You're a big baller, shot caller, that's fine. Planet Fitness Black Card. You basically own Planet Fitness. You can come and go wherever you want to. Over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the world with unlimited guest privileges. You could do whatever you want when you go in there. The tanning, the hydro massage, all of it. You can do whatever you want at Planet Fitness when you are a Black Card member. Go to planetfitness.com. You can join right now if you're motivated enough to do it, because it's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a big project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. So give them a call today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That is 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster here in the building. Happy you are with us. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. Detroit MI 1990, our Woodward Sports chat thread says Sam Flannel for head coach 100. And then right under that, Man Guy Frembro says Neal is an SOB. So I would be a SOB, right? Not an SOB?
Yeah, because
it's a consonant.
It's a consonant.
Yeah,
there you go.
Somebody calling you an SOB?
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's an SOB, but it would be a SOB.
It'd be a SOB, yeah.
But I hate that. Real talk, like, I hate that when people do that, like on Twitter, if somebody spells something wrong and somebody says, well, don't you mean this? Like,
Yeah.
you get what we're saying, bro. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. So, I won't. Okay, cool, man. Check's going to clear, no matter what you say. So, Francis Garcia, this is talk radio, so we got to do it, but I think the Lions are getting to 7 wins this year. But that kind of piggybacks nicely into where I wanted to go next. Great discussion, by the way, Terry. It's like you've done this for a living before in your life.
I'm just trying to be competitive
and
with
help the
a
team.
Great talking head like you. That's all.
Okay. Spencer asked us the question. You heard Sam Flannel's passion about the Lions and what he thinks and what he needs to see. He laid down kind of that 6-game edict of he's going to ask some really, really hard questions if they don't get there. Which points me to this week, right? Seattle's coming into town. They're a favorite in the game. No Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Possibly.
No DeAndre Swift.
Definitely.
Guys, I mean, but Sam Flannel, you're calling it a referendum game.
Oh, absolutely. Because is Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Jonah Jackson, are they playing?
And see, that's where I am with it. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, Jamal Williams he rushed for 20 carries for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a good backup. Craig Reynolds is still there. Josh Reynolds is questionable, but even if he can go. TJ Hawkinson even. DJ Chark.
Tom Kennedy.
Oh, okay. I knew you were going to go there. Injuries affect...
Did they call him up?
I think he's on the roster, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is he really? Oh, well, he's still not getting on the field. But injuries affect all teams. This is not a good Seattle Seahawks team.
Kennedy.
Here we go again. 0 catches, 0 yards, zero playing time. But still, like I said, this Seattle team is not a good team. The Lions are at home. They're 1-2. You cannot afford to lose any of these games. If they lose this game, this is one of those where you start the questioning of Dan Campbell. You start the maybe rolling the tanks in the streets. It's a must-win if they even want to have an improvement, if they even want to get to 7 or 8 wins or even 6. This is one you cannot let slip away under any circumstances. I don't care who is not playing.
On our WoodwardSports.com chat poll, we asked you the question, is it SOL right now? 64% of you said no, it is not. 36% said yes. Let's transition on that, Spence. Is it must-win?
Yeah.
And this has to be 90%.
Yes.
It has to be. Because, Terry, it is must-win. And I don't care who's hurt. Seahawks are coming in here. You're at home. You win these games, period, end of story. If you don't, it is a yes, guys, it is a wrap. Because you're 1-3, you're going on the road for 2 in a row, and I don't care that New England's quarterback's hurt. Because you guys, and I know that's where everyone's going to go. Well, New England's quarterback's hurt, and Dallas's quarterback's hurt. You just lost to the Seahawks at home, so you don't get you don't get that right
but
to say
they
that.
got Matt Patricia as offensive coordinator,
and
so there's a
JoJo.
chance.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever. But hey. Terry, it is must win. And not to save Dan Campbell's job, or I'm not going there like that. I'm talking about in the vacuum of this season, it's over if you don't win. It is.
They'll be like the Detroit Tigers in May.
Yeah, it's over.
But think about this. You can't have 3 of your first 4 games at home and be 1-3.
Thank you.
First of all, I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs, but they have no shot at salvaging the season. The fan base will finally be shooken. I don't know what the locker room is going to be like. We'd have to monitor that, start monitoring where players are mentally to Dan Campbell if you start 1-3. Because, and then the other thing you do is you wipe out all the goodwill you built up the last 6 games of last season. Maybe if you lose to Seattle, the Lions are a team that can only win games when the other teams are not as engaged in games as they should be. But when it's time to start the season, they can't win games. If they lose this game. Now, they were 3-13-1 last year. That means 4-16-1. Where's the hope in that?
And it starts to build. And look, in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Mark Walston says, I'm so tired of this must-win stuff. Mark, I'm sorry. It is in the terms of this season, Mark, yes, it is. Yes, it is a must-win. Just like when you were 0-1 with game number 2 at home, that was a must-win. That bought you the breather when you lost to Minnesota. But guess what? You're 1-2 now. This is where you are. Look around, man. Like, look around. If you want something to happen this season, you have to win Sunday, period, point blank. 3 of your home games are gone. You'll have 5 home games the rest of the year. Do the math, bro. Like, yeah. Know the room. Yes, it is must win in terms of this season. It is. You can't deny that, man.
And last time we talked about must win was against the Commanders, right?
Absolutely.
Think if they had lost that game, they'd be 0-3 now. We wouldn't be talking about must win. We'd be talking about they done.
Roll the tank.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be it. That bacon is as crisp as you like it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mark, that you don't like the must-win talk. But once you start doing some math, it is must-win. Like, come on, man.
I mean, think of if they win this game. If they're 2-2, I think that kind of takes away the bad taste in the fans' mouths from the Minnesota loss. But if they're 1-3, it's completely over. Like, that's how big of a difference 2-2 versus 1-3 makes. If they're 2-2, you might still think, hey, the Lions can do something. They can show improvement. They can win 7, 8, 9 games. But if they're 1-3, it's literally like roll the tanks. That's how big of a difference one game makes in the NFL.
Guess what talk we're going to hear about in this town?
Playoffs?
Playoffs.
I would go that far.
But you know what though, Terry? That's fair. No, see Sam Flannel, and that is fair. And I know people like Mark in our chat thread will be like, well, how can it be must win? And then you talk play because that's the nature of the NFL.
There's 17 of them. This isn't Major League Baseball where there's 162. There's 17. If you start 1-3, you go on the road to New England, to Dallas, home against Green Bay and Miami.
It's over.
That is a murderous row in the second quarter of the season. So 1-3, it's over. 2-2, there's some hope. That's how big of a difference
still
it
alive.
makes. That's why it's must win.
Yeah.
Precisely.
You're still alive. Like, yeah, then we can have those discussions. Then you go, then you talk about it. Yeah, there's no Mac Jones, and yeah, it's Matt Patricia, and the organization wants to win this game. Like from the guy that from the janitor at Ford Field all the way up to the ownership, everybody in the organization wants to win that game. They do. So but that's the nature of the NFL, Terry. Everything changes. Look at the Bears. Look at Jacksonville. Look at Jacksonville, dude. They go out to LA, they pound the Chargers. I don't care that people were hurt, man. That's the way it works in this game. Herbert was out there, and they pounded him, man. And Trevor Lawrence played well.
And they had the number 1 pick last year, which by definition, they were the worst team in the league by record, and they can go to Los Angeles, who was projected as a playoff team, and just pound them. It wasn't close. So the Lions, and like you said earlier, if they can't beat Seattle at home, you're not allowed to have the whole, New England doesn't have Mac Jones, Matt Patricia, because you lost to the Seahawks at home, which is unacceptable, unforgivable. They don't deserve to even they don't deserve anything if they lose this game.
Legion of Boom is dead. Just to remind people.
Let Russ cook. That's in Denver. It's over.
They got Will Dissly.
That's true. That is your guy. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I like this one. Steven Syrett. Tom Kelly breakout game. Let's go. Hey, Sam Flannel, what if?
Well,
give me. I know it's not Friday. I know it's not the What If Friday. But here on a Wednesday, what if?
If Amon-Ra gets ruled out, I wouldn't be surprised if they made the call to Tom Kennedy.
What if he got in the game, and what if he had 8 catches for $130 and 2 tutties?
Then I will have to come here and admit that I'm wrong, because it will have probably helped the Lions win a game, and that's what we all want, but I will have to eat some crow if that happens. That won't be lost on me.
What if?
Well, there's another thing that we need to ask ourselves. Can you trust DeAndre Swift? DeAndre Swift is a talented running back. When he's in the game, he's very dangerous. But now they've limited his carries. Even when he plays, he's like carrying the ball a few times a game. He's injured again. He's not going to play. Is he officially a guy that you look at and say, you know what, can't trust him because we can't depend on him playing? Misses a lot of games. And even in some of the games that he does play, they're limiting his carries because they don't want him to get hurt.
No, and we are going to have that discussion too. There's going to be a lot of uncomfortable discussions at the end of this season,
especially if they lose this game, which is a must-win.
Yeah, oh boy. Please don't, guys. Please win
for the sake of the network.
Yeah, do it for us.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for us.
For real.
Because and look, we are going to have those uncomfortable discussions at the end of the year, one way or the other. DeAndre Swift is one of those discussions. TJ Hawkinson is another one of those discussions, depending on how it goes. Dan Campbell is another one of those discussions, depending on how it plays out. There are some tough discussions to be had, Terry.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. No question.
Yeah, and it is, man. Patty Grimes, for Neal, they're all must-wins, even though he didn't think that they would be any good. Do I not qualify that every time I say it? Within the vacuum of this season, to compete for the Ryan Ermannis of the network that say they're going to win the division or go to the playoffs, you have to stay that course.
And for the psyche of this fan base.
And you're still playing, and that's what the position you have dictates that all that stuff is still in play until it's not, Patty. And then at that time, we get new information, which then we alter the goals. We change the goals, if you know what I mean. Roll the tanks in the streets.
Yeah.
And never win another game. Never, ever again. But here's one thing you should do again. The mulligan with Gypsy Vodka. It's 8%. Tread lightly, everybody, but they are delish. It's the official drink of summer, even though we've moved into fall. I'll make it the official drink of fall as long as it keeps staying a little bit warm outside. If you're out on the golf course, if you're hanging out in the backyard, the mulligan is calling your name. Ask for mulligan at a local golf course. Go to a Total Wine store. They got everything up in there. Get you a couple cases. Stock up for the winter. It's a mulligan made with Gypsy Vodka. Support Michigan distilleries. Iced tea, lemonade, vodka. Everything you need to live is right there inside that can. Ask for it by name. It's Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Time to talk about Swiss. Not Hammond Swiss, Swiss Insurance Group. Did you know that 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that makes them uninsurable? Swiss Insurance can save you money on your auto and home, resulting in no out-of-pocket cost to insure your children. Check with Mark at Swiss Insurance and make sure your family is protected.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac out with Red Wings Fantasy Camp, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you, our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. If you haven't checked out the new website yet, do it, WoodwardSports.com. We got it on and pop it on there. No doubt about it. Paul Thomas says, let's stop with the fire Dan Campbell BS. If Campbell goes, so does Holmes. See, I don't think so, man, because they are mutually exclusive. Look at the performance so far. They are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, what? If Dan Campbell goes, so does Holmes.
Well, Holmes didn't hire Dan Campbell.
Yeah, what basis do you have behind that?
And as I'm salty, and I'm salty, I'll give you credit for this one, our WoodwardSports.com chat there. This got us talking during the commercial break. And it's real, and I don't think that we know it, Terry, but we don't think about it, and we have to remember that. Holmes never picked Campbell, though.
That's true. That's why I'm not convinced if Brad Holmes decides at some point that Dan Campbell's not the right guy for this job. Normally his job would be to fire him, but I think he could be vetoed by the Lions, and they said, sorry, bro, he's not going anywhere. This is not his guy. That's why normally in sports you have the GM pick the coach,
because then you can tie it to him and say,
right,
that's
and
your
then,
guy.
But you notice, and maybe this is legit, the first thing Dan Campbell's a very smart guy. First thing he said, me and Brad Holmes on the same page. This is my guy. Because he knew maybe at some point he'd have the decision-making process, although I'm not convinced that he does, but he also knows I'm not his guy originally, but I'm going to be now. I'm his guy. I love him.
Nicholas Duncan says defense, first and second pick for sure, and QB in the first round for the draft. I'm telling you guys, don't look me in the eye and tell me Jared Goff is the problem here, man. He's been fine.
He's been just fine.
Yeah.
There is no reason why we should talk about Jared Goff right now as any reason that they've been losing. I don't think he's a great quarterback, but he has been just fine. He is the least of the Lions' problems right now.
But that's why you do look at him. Just fine. You want someone who's dynamic. You want someone who makes plays. You want somebody who's a playmaker. Is Jared Goff an elite playmaker?
No, of course
he
not.
does yeoman work and he's fine and everything. But if you can get it, you should try to find that quarterback who's dynamic and, Neal, cheaper so that you can do other things with the organization.
Well, Jared Goff is cheaper, though.
Cheaper than what?
In a world where guys are getting $50 million, he's only getting 30.
Okay, that's not cheap, bro.
Terry.
Yeah, but the guys
it's a
making
40%
$50
discount.
million can do way more than
there's
Jared Goff.
there's like 5 of those guys, man.
Okay.
Like you people act like they're flipping about it. They're
All right,
like, let's just go get Aaron Rodgers. You know,
who's making more money, Goff or Herbert?
Goff right now.
Oh, really? And who would you rather have?
Well, I mean, in the context, rather have Herbert right now.
Answer the question. Who?
Yeah, in the context of the question, right now, yes. Today, I'll take Herbert right now.
Excuse me. That's what I'm talking about. He's cheaper and he makes more plays.
Right. I mean, I'd rather have Tua over Herbert. So there you go.
Okay. There's a bunch of dudes
Stop
you'd rather
it.
have
Stop it.
than
Come
Jared
on.
Goff.
Come on.
Okay.
You know what? Yes, Jared Goff is a fine, solid little quarterback. But is he a guy that's going to carry a franchise?
No.
No. That's why you can't just say, well, he's not really the problem. Yes, he is, because he's not elevating this team. He doesn't elevate this team where they're up 20 against the Vikings and then make enough plays at the end to hang on and win. He's not that guy. So that's why you do need to look to upgrade a quarterback at a cheaper price. Neal.
You know me, man. I'm here for it. WoodwardSports.com chat thread is a Seattle game a must-win. 91% of you say yes because you have common sense and you understand math.
90%, you hit it.
Yeah. So I mean, well, you know, it's one of those things where it has to be. And I saw Mark Walston talked about the fact of well, they're not must-win until you're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. No, when you're 1-6, you're dead. When you're 1-3, you're dead. The math says you're dead.
0-2, you're dead. The math says so.
I know.
if you want to make the playoffs. None of those teams make the playoffs at 0-2.
So the Lions came back from that brink once. They have to do it again Sunday. And yes, it is a have to, because 1-3 with only 5 home games left. I'd even say, like, if you were really digging in the analytic weeds, do that, run those numbers. A 1-3 team with only 5 home games left. I would venture a guess. There may have. I doubt that there's been a team. That there hasn't been more than 2 teams that have made the playoffs under that scenario.
Most of those teams probably lose double-digit games, if we're being
Right.
honest. And that might be the Lions' fate if they lose this week. I think there's a very good chance it is. So that's why they got to win. Win this game, Lions, please. Like, this is almost like where you're just, like, begging. I was rooting for you. Like, it's getting to that desperation kind of point for us right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, you have a much better chance if you're 1-3 and 3 of those 4 games are on the road. That means you have a bunch of home games coming. You can rally, get to 3-3, get to 4-3 or something like this. But you only got 5 home games left.
Yeah. Baddest Breed says, Neal, you threw me off with that old easy E-line 100. Said that was strong. So, hey, you never know. As Spence said, I have bars from time to time. And it's when you least expect it.
You do.
And it goes deep. It certainly goes deep. Can the Lions win without St. Brown and Swift?
I'm going to say no, they'll lose that game if they don't have either one of those guys. Because St. Brown, anytime Jared Goff is in trouble, where's he going? St. Brown. And St. Brown is going to get open. So now you take away that, and the Lions' offensive line is playing well, but they are so much more dynamic as a running team with Swift than they are with anybody else.
No, and that's where it is for me. That's why I still think that they can win that game. However, the Swift thing does hurt, and no question about it. Amon-Ra, though, if you go dip down onto the practice squad, though, and you bring up Big TK, that changes the whole dynamic, right, Sam?
I forgot about Ted Kennedy. Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Kennedy.
So Tom Kennedy is just basically like Amon-Ra St. Brown, plug and play.
Plug and play.
Jesus Christ.
A playmaker. Did you see the tape from the preseason? No, but again, for me, though, I do believe that their offensive line is good enough to beat Seattle. Yes, because they, again, Terry, they will have over 100 yards rushing. Maybe not one guy in particular, but as a team, they will be over 100 yards because that's how they roll. Okay, that's how that offensive line
Probably
is.
They'll get 102 yards, but it won't be 150 or won't be 160 or something like that.
It'll be 150 before it's 102. I'm confident in saying that.
Okay, all right.
So,
see.
you know, it is, though. It's one of those things where, yes, they have to do it. Because remember, they do, for as bad as they are, right? The Seahawks are as bad as we perceive them to be. But the Geno Smith experience, how's that going for everybody?
I mean, he hasn't been as terrible as we thought.
Exactly, yeah. And see, that's my thing. You still do have DK Metcalf. I got him on a lot of my fantasy teams, man.
Tyler Lockett.
You still got dudes over there.
Good wide receiver tandem, but you still got to win that game. I mean, we would all say it. Even without Swift, I think that Jamal Williams and Craig Reynolds will be just fine running behind that offensive line. The Amon-Ra thing, though, that would be a huge loss. And he's not ruled out yet. He's clearly Jared Goff's favorite target. He's clearly been the offensive MVP so far this season, but that still wouldn't be an excuse for losing this must-win game to the Seahawks. Guys like DJ Chark and TJ Hawkinson, and maybe even a guy like Khalif Raymond and Josh Reynolds, if he plays, they would just have to step up. And you still got Jared Goff back there. You don't have to be dynamic. You just have to play good, clean football, and you should get out of there with a win. You just should.
What about this? What about this one from one funky Lions fan? Just tell Tom Kennedy it's August and he'll be fine. What if all the calendars in Ford Field you put August up there?
Let's do it.
Hey, if he actually balls out in a regular season game and helps the Lions win, I will put this on the record.
You'll get a jersey?
I will be happy to be wrong. I won't get a jersey, but I'll be happy to be wrong.
Damn.
Well, they don't have a flannel Tom Kennedy jersey, so
can we get you? Can you get a blue flannel and put Kennedy and have his number on the back? How about that? Is that fair?
It depends.
If he gets a 100-yard game if he gets 100 yards in an NFL game, can we do that?
In a win, I will do it.
There we go.
Now, if Tom Kennedy gets 100 yards receiving in the game, they will win.
And that you're probably
because
right.
the other team would be so in shock. They're like, "Oh, what the hell happened?" They'll fall apart.
No, you're probably right.
No, I know. Aaron Hurley says Tom Kennedy's on the practice squad. Oh, he's just going to jump Cephas and Raymond. Hey, if you want to win, put Tom Kennedy in.
If you want to win, put Booby in.
No, it's just can they win though? Can they? I believe they can, Terry. I believe they will. I believe that their offense. This will be an offensive line win this weekend.
Okay, but here's what happens a lot of times. Jared Goff is running for his life. He doesn't know where to go. He flips it to Amon St. Brown. Miraculously, there's a catch. He doesn't have that anymore. And you don't have Swift. Swift is a very talented dude. Forget the offensive line. Swift is a great talent. He's a playmaker that you're taking out of your lineup. And you're going to take 2 playmakers out of offense. That's dangerous, bro.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread Southpaw Slab said, while we're at it, put all the calendars at Comerica Park back to October of 1984. Go Blue says, Neal, haha, have him get a custom blue flannel, Tom Kennedy flannel jersey. Yep, we're doing it. Crazy Clown says, Mr. Kennedy.
Hey, if he balls out in the regular season, I will have to eat my crow, and I'll be happy to be wrong because it could help the Lions win, which is what we all want.
No, I get it. I understand, but I want it to happen.
And Ann Arbor, can we turn the calendars back to 1997?
No, you can send it back to 1948 when they won, a national title of their own.
Oh.
You can do that.
97 was on their own.
Because I remember two champions that year.
Nebraska lost that season.
See, when I look in the history books, it says that they're undefeated.
I know what the history books say, but Nebraska lost a game that season. The refs screwed it up.
Okay.
They lost a game.
Hey, I did this too last time I was in Las Vegas, like one of those old school sports books managers. We got to talking about that. They said Nebraska would have been the betting favorite in that game.
That doesn't mean they would have won.
Well, I'm just telling you, though, what the sentiment was. I'm just telling you.
They lost the game, bro.
See, they got a half a national title, too.
The Lions were favored. No, they weren't.
No, they weren't. Good talk, everybody. Good talk, everybody. Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is called This is the F Word. It's a series on fentanyl and all the other addictions that are plaguing our communities. If you're struggling, guys, go to thesportsma.com. Let me tell you something else. If you know someone that's struggling and you're trying to figure out what to do, go to thesportsma.com. Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. 2 different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play, as well as private lane reservation, 10 to 12 people for $120. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine. Pop in $2. Pops you out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. If you know what you want or want to make a decision, they have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you come check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
My favorite bumper music that we have in the rotation right here, man.
It's a slapper.
Yeah, this slaps, no doubt. No cap, bro.
They got a watcher, like the watcher. There's a beat like that. It sounds like it in there.
Is this like from a song or what is it?
I don't know. Where do you find these, Sam?
Free Music Beds, Pixabay. It's really that simple.
There you go.
All right. I like it, man. I like it. I do. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Though we are talking Detroit Lions, and I did want to touch on this last. We got a Pistons thing we're going to get to next segment because Pistons had media day yesterday. Troy Weaver said some things that made Terry raise his eyebrow like The Rock. So Terry has a critical question for everybody out there, which we will get to coming up next. But let's bottom line this right now. We're talking about this Lions game against Seattle. We know, at least we think we know what the story is. There's a chance that Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't play. It is factually correct that DeAndre Swift will not play. Who picks up the slack, man? Because there'll be a lot of slack to pick up because these are arguably your two best offensive players. Non-offensive line offensive players.
Who will it be or who must it be?
Whichever one you prefer. Who won't it be?
It must be Jamal Williams because this is a run-first mentality team. So he will have to play well offensively behind that offensive line. But he is not as dynamic a runner as Swift. It's not even close. So I question whether he can pick it up, but he's the one who must pick it up.
And that's facts right there.
And then Tom Kennedy, I guess.
Well, and that's what it is too. Nicholas Duncan, WoodwardSports.com, Tom Kennedy, and Reynolds. So there you go. The Kennedy, we're going to speak it into existence here.
I mean, if Josh Reynolds doesn't play, I mean, there's another open spot for him this week. So, but like I said, if he does ball out in the regular season, I'm not going to continue to die on that hill, but he's got to do it. He hasn't done it yet. I just think the hype from the preseason was a little bit too strong. We'll see, though. Like I said, I'm not going to, die on that hill forever.
Down the hill, stand by your man. What's wrong with you?
If he's good with new information, I'm allowed to change my opinion. We all want him to be good. But
Flannel, either stand by your man or shut up. All right,
he be quiet.
That was
but
quick.
when you leave, he'll be talking again. WoodwardSports.com chat thread going on right now. I'm salty. Salty's having a pretty good day. Hockenson and Chark definitely have to show up. And you know what, guys? I'm with you because there's gonna be 8 receptions. If St. Brown doesn't play, there's 8 to 10 receptions out there that need to be accounted for. And you know what? Yeah. Certainly,
Baby Shark will drop 4 of them.
Well, and you know what? The Chark thing is not so much for me. It better be Hockenson, man. Do something. Do something.
Yeah, he's trying to get paid.
Is he, though? I mean,
He's trying. He may not get paid here, but he's trying to get some Benjamins.
Where is everybody with Hockenson right now?
Disappointed. Extremely disappointed. It's because all the questions we've had about TJ Hockenson have never been performance based. It's been health based. Can he stay out there? Can he get? And this year he's been out there and he hasn't been.
And it's
producing.
been mid.
It's been mid. And partially, he's not seeing as many targets. He's not the number 1 option anymore. When we're healthy, he might be the 3rd or 4th receiving option in this offense. But this game, I expect him to step up. I expect him to get 6 to 8 catches. I expect him to have around 80 yards and a touchdown.
Real Cream of Wheat says, doesn't matter, he's still going to get paid. Not here, he's not.
Brad Holmes will not.
I mean, it is, dude. It's one of those things, too. Those are the questions that have to be answered. But is this, I don't want to say it's do or die. That's a little extra, and that's a little grandiose.
Well, it's the same as must win.
But no, it's not, Terry. No, it's not.
Damn close, son.
No, it's not, Terry. Look at the math.
Okay, do or die, must win. That's in the same neighborhood to me.
No, because Hockenson could have 2 catches this game.
Oh, I thought you were about the team.
No. I'm talking about TJ Hockenson. And I'm talking, you know what? And deeper than that, Hockenson, the fans' views. Because I still think that there's a lot of support out there for him. But are the TJ Hockenson supporters, are you staggered right now? I guess you're saying. Because at some point, you got to show me. Right? I'll go to Rick Ross for comment.
Sure.
You know what the lesson on this is going to be?
What is it?
The Lions ever draft a tight end in the first round should shut the franchise down. Shut him down.
Yeah. One funky Lions fan says, people expect Hawk to be Kelsey, and since he's not used like Kelsey. He is a letdown to people. Fair or unfair, it's what it is. But see, one funky Lions fan, though, here's the extension of that. When you talk about market value and the perception of what he should be paid. Again, and in the financial circles, people are talking about this guy being a $13, $14 million a year guy. David Njoku is a $14.5 million a year guy. Took over the game the other night in stretches.
I mean, he did. His history, he hasn't been very productive, and he's been hurt a lot, but he did play very well last week. And right now, this might sound like a hot take, and people might kill me for it. TJ Hawkinson hasn't even proven that he is as good as Brandon Pettigrew was. And you want to pay that guy $14, $15 million a year? Absolutely not. But in this game, if Amon-Ra St. Brown is out, TJ Hawkinson will have to be the guy that steps up and catches those short and intermediate routes and actually is a top option on this team. And with those opportunities, he can maybe step up, because so far this season, he's been absolutely mid. I know he caught a touchdown pass, but 3 catches for 18 yards is worse than mid. And yes, he is not even as productive as Brandon Pettigrew was at this point. Look at the numbers.
No, and that's where it is for me, Terry. Like, because we're getting down to it with the guy, and at some point, dude, you have to deliver. And it's fair what Spence said about the tax of Amon-Ra St. Brown with the explosion of Amon-Ra St. Brown. And what he's been able to do. That cut into Hawkinson's action. No question about it. But it's been mid. No one can deny that. The biggest Hawkinson fan can deny he's been mid. Now there'll be an opportunity. He has to seize this. I think this is a huge game for him, Terry.
It is, because first of all, yes, he's got to get paid. But secondly, he's got to prove to the Lions that he's worth being on this team. Now, this is almost like training camp for Hawkinson. Are you going to make the team or not? We know you can play in the NFL, but are you going to make the team or not? This is his training camp, 2023 training camp. If he screws up and this game is bad, he'll be bad the rest of the time. And then, I think the Lions are going to say, hey, look, you had your shot. We're not going to pay you all this money. Now, if you want to come back on a $2 million a year contract, we'll bring you back. But we know that's not going to happen. So this is training camp for him.
I know that, but again, that decision has to be made. I'll give you guys this right now. I just want to go around the room real quick and get all of your guys' take on it, because as TJ Hawkinson stands right now, and I want to get these numbers exactly right because I feel like it's important. With him being a first-round pick, obviously you're coming up to that 5th-year option next year. Next year, right now, Terry, as it stands, $9.4 million. If you want Hawkinson next year, that's your 5th-year option on him. Yes or no? Right now, as we sit today. Sam Flannel, right now.
Because it's 9.4, yes. Paying him in the future, no.
Spencer Raxter.
Yeah, for sure. $9.4 million? Yeah, definitely.
See, I shade towards yes on that, but here's what gives me pause about that. Because then we start swimming in those waters. Because I have the same answer you guys have, right? Yeah, I think yes next year, but long term, no. But I don't want that danger. You know what I'm saying?
Danger zone.
If he comes what if he comes out the next year and catches 60 balls and has 6 touchdowns?
Yeah.
But it's not dynamic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can upgrade at that position. Get a young guy in there, give him a couple years, and by the time you're ready to win, this guy will be as good, if not better, than TJ Hawkinson. I think we're settling for mediocrity here, fellas. That, he's all right. Now, you want more than all right. You want playmakers. You're never going to win if you don't have playmakers. Hawkinson was brought in here to be a playmaker, and he's not. Swift was here as a playmaker. He is, but you can't depend on him.
This is interesting. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. One funky Lions fan. The Hawk hate is funny. Right under that, Alpha Dog 23. Tony Scheffler was even more productive than TJ Hawkinson.
Easy guy. Easy.
His touchdown dances were cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Louis Bishop says, Brad Holmes' history of drafting well in the later rounds, you have to trust him to find a good tight end in the 3rd or 4th round. And that's where I am with it, my guy.
Bam.
Like 110%. Have complete faith in all of that. It's funny. Mark Walston says, save that loot for Lamar 2023. Who says no?
I say yes.
100% I say yes. And it's for the reasons we talked about before. Mm-hmm. You're paying him $50. but it's only counting 20 on your cap because you have Goff on the books for 30 already. And then you still got $55 million in cap space in 2024
and he's about
with
to win
Lamar.
MVP again this year.
With Lamar.
Yeah.
Think about that.
It's nice.
That's the long game. That's the long game that I've been talking about. I know the long game in the haircut business.
Yes, come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience, and it's your last month to register to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity. Play-by-play updates, those are nice. Live scoring updates, those are cool as well. But the best part of this, you've been hearing me say this for a while, the best price on every game for multiple sports books. The list is customizable. When I'm doing the get right pick, oddstrader.com is on the screen right here. And I'm going to cherry pick that line from a book because, I don't want to give money away. I don't want to give points away because why would I do that? Why would I take a worse line when I have access to all the lines in front of me? I don't have to waste time going back and forth from app to app on my phone. Oddstrader.com, man. Oddstrader.com. It's where you find your best bet. When I'm handing out 21-8 winners on the get right pick over the course of 2 years, hey, I'm just saying. That's
You're a pro.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
When are you moving to Vegas?
What's that?
When are you moving to Vegas?
No, that's not practical.
Okay, just asking the question.
No, that's not practical. How about this? Let's change gears for a second here because, Terry, you hit us with this morning, and I think it was great because I had discussions with people about this very thing last night as well. Pistons had media day yesterday, Monday. They had media day Monday. Yesterday was Tuesday. So on Monday, Pistons had media day. Troy Weaver, everybody goes there. They all talk. They all talk, get to the media and all that kind of stuff, and you get to hear their thoughts and all that. But something came out of media day, Terry, that kind of had you raise your eyebrow. Let's discuss.
Troy Weaver said, "We are now ready to compete." And I guess my question is, what does that mean? When I hear a team saying they're ready to compete, it means they're ready to make the playoffs. They're going to be a team that you don't want to play. And I think it was Diallo said that they're ready to kick some people's ass now. So now we're hearing all this junk coming out of Pistons camp that we heard coming out of the Lions. So what does all this mean? Because I in no way thought this was a playoff team. And then they had the trade, and I still don't think it's a playoff team, but it's a team that's going to give you hell every night, or most nights. You can't give teams hell every night in the NBA. It's just not set up for that because of back-to-backs and because of league games and things like that. But Troy Weaver has me believing that, at least in their minds, they're a playoff contending team, which to me would be a year ahead of schedule. So when he said we're going to compete and Diallo said we're going to kick some people's ass, what does all that mean?
To me, what it means when they say we're going to compete, because I'm with you. I know that, again, we're like pit bulls on the chain, and people thought with the trade of Jeremy Grant and the drafting of Jaden Ivey that, boom, this is a playoff team.
Right.
Which
playoffs?
Yeah, which I'm not on board with. And again, full disclosure, I work for the team from time to time. So I do play-by-play for the games from time to time.
All right, beautiful.
So, for even me, who does that work, I didn't see that with the addition of Jaden Ivey. Now, with Bogdanovich, does it improve the team? Yes, it improves the team. But this is, a 33-year-old guy that's moving on. And yes, I know he was an 18-point-a-game guy, but look at the system he was in. It's a little different here in Detroit with all the youth.
But he can shoot.
Yeah, but he can shoot it. Yeah, and they desperately need that. The discussion too, the Jalen Duren, all that talk about rookie of the year and what he's going to do, I think that's a little aggressive. He's 18, man. What 18-year-old has come into the league, Terry? You covered this league a long time. How many 18-year-olds just pop into that league and pop off?
Not many.
Not many.
Last one I really knew here in Detroit was a 19-year-old named Isaiah Thomas.
Yep.
But most rookies, no matter how good they are, when you look at the history of this, a lot of them don't even average 10 points a game.
Right. Absolutely. It's such a one-off, and I would even contend that it's harder as a big because of the defensive end of things. Mm-hmm. People way undersell that. When you're a big and you're a rookie big and you're coming in here and you got to face elite pick and roll play, the best in the world. There's a reason everyone runs a pick and roll, because it's the hardest thing to stop. That's why it's been around forever and it will always continue to be around. It's hard to learn how to defend that. It takes seasoning to learn how to defend that.
You know what every rookie says in January? First of all, I'm tired. I've already played enough, more games than I have in college. And B, these dudes I'm playing against are men. And they're serious about their craft. And this is physically tough for me. Even though you're not hitting each other like you do in football, but it is tough physically for rookies when they're playing against these men.
Yeah, Man Guy Frembro says LeBron, Kobe, Duren. Those are the three. But you see what I'm saying, though, man. And I get it. That's a pretty funny one. It's just they're not there yet. So I think when Troy Weaver's on that microphone and he says we're ready to compete, I think what he's getting at is, those games in Memphis where they're down 40. Those games I'm talking about because we saw those.
That's done.
That's done. Okay. I think that's what he means. Like those games where you come out and they get cooked from the jump ball. I think that's what he's talking. I think he's talking about competing on a night in and night out basis to the point where you're a tough out. Where and look, we've seen it where they would pop up and compete against Golden State at home from time to time. We saw that. Right. I'm talking about from a night to night basis.
Golden State and those times were on the back end of a 5-game East Coast trip. Teams always either lose that game or look terrible in that game. And Troy Weaver should know this. In the NBA, you're going to get cooked some nights. Yeah. You're going to lose by 30. It can't be helped.
We call them schedule losses. There's about, you covered this thing, but there's about 6 to 8 a season.
I'm going to quote the great Mark Aguirre, who would always say we don't know when it's going to come, we don't know how it's going to come, but you're going to spit out a bad one every now and then.
Right.
This is a guy on a championship team saying this. So you're going to cook those, but does he mean now that they're going to win enough games to be in the playoff hunt? Does it mean instead of losing?
I think it's night to night, Terry. I think it is just the days of going to Memphis and losing by 40 are over. And yes, you're going to get a couple of those. There are 6 to 8 schedule losses in the NBA where there's nothing you can do.
Those haven't been eliminated. They're still going to be there.
Right, but I'm talking about, Terry, like a stretch of those. You remember that stretch they had in January?
Sure, it was
grim.
Couldn't score.
Couldn't
stop anybody.
Yeah, couldn't stop anyone. And that's, we always get caught up too, like with Bogdanovich, with the shooting, and our mind always gravitates towards the offense. Terry, that again, just going back to the Pistons days, the Bad Boys days and stuff like that, When they first arrived, in terms of being a playoff team, what was the problem? Bernard King scored every time in that series.
Right.
Every possession. They got cooked defensively. And Duran's going to have to learn how to defend the pick and roll at the highest level in this game. It's a process to that. I think what he's saying is it's not like play-in game. It's not playoff appearance. I think it's more a tough out every single night, because that is a step, Terry. It is. It's a step you have to take as a franchise when you're retooling.
I suppose, but you also need more wins. I need to see 32, 33 wins for me to say, you know what? They're competitive. They're competing. You can't be, we're going to win 27 games, but we only lost 104 to 101 tonight. Can't do that.
Yeah.
At some point, when you're talking trash like this, you got to be talking about more wins.
Which
in
think,
my world.
Yeah, but I think that comes along with that, though, because the more games you're in, the more you're going to win. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Sure.
it just, the math just kind of follows. Again, I think that the Vegas thing is about right. 28.5-ish. In that, it's going to be in that area. You get a couple breaks, you'll win 34. A couple breaks go against you, you'll win 26. They can win that many games, guys, and still be a better team.
See, my over-under is 32.5. I think they're capable of doing that. Cade Cunningham is bigger, stronger, more physical, and smarter. He's adding Jaden, Ivey and Nerlens and Bogdanovich. They should be a few games better than they were last year.
I'll tell you this too, Spence. Cade's yoked.
Cade is yoked.
He's yoked up,
Gaines
by the
Cunningham. And that's I'm excited for it. I'm excited for that team. I'm excited for them to produce. And I think when you say like, oh, they're going to be competing, like you said, it's not. They're going to be in every game. They're not going to be, hanging. They're not going to be doing stuff with Boston and Atlanta and stuff like that. But they're not going to be actively losing at the end of the year, like a lot of teams are this year for Wanna Bang Your Mama. Like we're going to see a lot of teams doing that because they're trying to win the sweepstakes for this 7'6" freak of an athlete that can dribble from anywhere and shoot from anywhere. So that's when I talked about the over. I was on the over as soon as it was posted because one, Cade Cunningham isn't going to miss the first 2 weeks of the season. Second, we added shooting and we added size, which is our two biggest lacks from last year. And thirdly, at the end of the year, they're not going to be actively losing games, which other teams will.
But see, here's the, and I feel like people are going to draw their swords on me on this one. But see, did they add shooting? Yes. But they lost scoring, and those are two different things, Spence. You're an NBA guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think they can make up for it with what they lost. They lost, 20 points, inefficient 20 points in Jeremy Grant. They added efficient scoring in Bojan, efficient scoring in Alec Burks, and a guy like Jaden Ivey, who we hope can be an efficient, 13 to 15 his first year. So I think they'll make up for it.
But you know what? They lost bullshit scoring.
Yes.
They just lost scoring. I'm just scoring. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's not coming at critical times. I'm just putting in this.
But they lost scoring, though, Terry.
It's bullshit scoring.
But they did lose scoring.
They did. But
and the Bogdanovich thing, again, it was in that Utah system with the players that he had around him. That's different than the situation he's going to now. I'm not saying the Pistons can't get there, obviously. Certainly they can. But through all that, it was a different setup, man. Is that fair, Sam Flannel? It was a different setup.
It's different, but Bojan Bogdanovich, no matter what system he's in, he is a marksman. He's had a season where he averaged 20 points and over 40% from three.
He's got 50 burgers on the resume, man.
He does, and I think that can change the whole paradigm of your shooting as a team. I can just see it now.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham driving to the lane, draws a double team, kicks it out to Bojan in the corner, splash from three. That's the kind of element that Bojan Bogdanovich will add to this team to go along with the Sadiq Bey, who we also hope can develop into a marksman. I've got the over. I think they're going to win 35 games.
I agree. Not only with Bojan, you added another 40% three-point shooter in Alec Burks, who is going to be a gun for hire off the bench. Like he is going to be the Vinnie Johnson. He's going to come in buckets only. Like that's all it is, and it's going to be him and Killian. running that second team. He's going to be dropping buckets. So having those marksmen, adding size. Obviously, Cade's stats went insane after they just added the one rim threat of Marvin Bagley last year. Now you add a guy like Nerlens Noel, who is not a world beater, but he is an NBA big man. He is size in that paint. He is a guy who can catch lobs. You add freak athletes like Duren and Ivey to just put pressure on the basket. It's just going to create more offense around them.
Another thing you need is a veteran player who's engaged in the team. Gordon is saying he's talking to coaches, he's talking to players.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a guy that just is here so he can get his next contract with another team. This guy is engaged, and that's more important. And the other thing is, it may not be Utah, but at certain points of the game, both Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey are going to penetrate that lane, and they're going to be looking to score. But sometimes they're going to say, "Oops, they got this covered. What's my plan B?" There's your plan B. Just toss it out to this man and hit the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Alec Burks, though.
It's an underrated signing.
I'm big on Alec Burks.
I like him.
You know what that means, though. On the flip side, with Cade and Jaden Ivey and Alec Burks, we're running out of minutes here.
Yeah, for sure.
Feel me?
Yeah, and I was happy because I paint myself as being the Knicks being my second team, so I watch a lot of Knicks games, and I like Alec Burks. He is an legitimate NBA shot maker,
and you got a club
NBA
option.
weapon.
You got a $10 million club option next year on him.
And the same with Noel. Like, Noel's not a top 10 center, but he is an NBA rebounder. He is an NBA defender. So you brought guys in that fit in the NBA, so you're not starting Trey Lyles at center for half of your games.
Right, absolutely. Hey, Cintron's the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings, and they've combined all three of their delicious flavors into their Red Wings themed 6-pack sampler box. Yes, you get it all. You can try Cintron's great tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free all in one Red Wings themed package. Pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today. CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Remember, it's available in Kroger as well, so give it a spin if you haven't yet. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings. 6-2 over the Penguins last night. Zadina! 1919.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. But, just kind of wrapping up this Pistons discussion, and I just think Vegas is in the ballpark at 28.5-ish. I don't want to see us do what we did with the Tigers with the Pistons, because the Pistons aren't there yet. They're building towards that. They're putting the pieces in place, but they're not to that part yet. But it's there, and they have the option. You guys got to remember, too, the cap space and everything like that, the draft capital, all that stuff. Troy has the ammo to make a move at some point. Only he knows who and he knows when and how he's going to get involved. But, Terry, you see the pieces being put in place to get that one player to go over the top.
He is the chess player, and he's already thinking of his next move.
100%.
We just don't know what it is.
I'm sure it'll involve fleecing the Knicks in some form or fashion.
Yeah, probably.
Everybody steals on the Knicks.
Yeah, James Dolan is the worst owner in the history of sport.
Everybody steals on
them.
them.
Guy's a loser, man.
And one of the least liked men in the NBA.
Yeah, he kicks out Hall of Famers from games. Like, you're a loser.
Man Guy Frembro says, Cade most improved player, Ivey rookie of the year, Duran defensive player of the year as a rookie, Killian the league MVP, 2023 NBA champs. Who says no?
Cade will not be most improved player.
No.
Because usually that award goes to someone who's fallen apart and then has a good season. Cade Cunningham had a very good rookie season. So that's going to be impossible for him to win that award if he's talking about awards. But he will be improved because what he's done, he's added parts of his game that we don't know about yet because he was locked away in the gym. And what good players do is they add something to their game during the off season, and all of a sudden you're like, oh damn, this is a different guy.
Yeah.
As it stands now, you know he's going to be a more physical player.
Finishing through
because
contact.
if he didn't do that, guess what? He'd start out fine, and we'd be saying, go, Cade, go. And then by February, he'd be like, I'm tired, guys. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this season. What's up? And they'd beat him up.
That says a lot. Like yoked.
Oh, yeah.
Yoked TF up.
Oh,
man.
yeah, for sure.
Like, he looks ready for war.
Gaines Cunningham, Braids Cunningham, whatever you want to call him. Dude's ready. Dude's ready for action. He was sick of not getting calls because I went to a couple games and you'd hear when he's driving to the hole and there's no call. And it's like, all right, I mean, he's a rookie. Kind of understand it. This year, he's going to be finishing through that contact. I expect him to get a little bit better treatment with calls because I feel like he's earned that as asserting himself as one of the most upcoming stars in the NBA. So I'm so excited for the man. He's going to
make the All-Star team this year.
Yeah, I mean, if the Pistons win more than 35 games, or they're on pace to win more than 35 games.
I don't think that's attached to Cade this year, for real. Like, I don't think they have to win at an unexpected clip.
It's always tough. With the guard play in the East, it's tough because you look at all the guys that will make it over him. Is he a top 6 guard in the East? Probably, but like guys like Darius Garland who get in there because they have a great season and their team is outperforming expectations. Guys like LaMelo Ball who get in there because name factor.
Oh boy.
You know, it's I think
WoodwardSports.com chat ready to crack them knuckles right now.
I think Cade Cunningham is a better player.
Freshman, sophomore game, whatever that is.
Yeah.
The young star, rising
star game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he'll dominate that again. He won MVP last year.
I don't think he's going to be an all-star this year.
I think he'll have all-star numbers for sure. I think he'll put up all-star numbers.
With all-star, you have to be popular and you have to be good.
Yeah, the team success is pretty big for all-stars, which I don't think it should be. I think it should be the best guys at their position, and I think Cade, if it was like that, would definitely make it. But that's not how they vote, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I will say this: like, I do believe there is some juice for Cade Cunningham because I went to New York City. We went to the NBA store over the summer. It was the Cade Cunningham jersey and the Grant Hill teal jersey.
Yeah,
that was the extent of your Pistons collection that was in there, but it was there.
And I said it since day one, since we drafted him. I was like, I'm going to be able to buy a Pistons signature shoe, like the Cade Cunningham ones. Like, I'm buying those as soon as they come out.
When those supposed to drop?
I don't know, but I'm excited. Hopefully, I don't know who he's signed to. It might be Puma or something. Puma's never had big ass feet, so Puma's never fit me right. But
Puma's out there making moves in the community.
Yeah,
man.
they are. I want to see who he's signed to.
And we're gonna do it. Mark Walson says, forget all-star selection, just get better and start winning.
He's a Nike. He signed with Nike.
He signed with Nike? Okay. We are going to do the questions for T-Foss, questions for me, and wherever. We're going to do that with the last segment. Real quickly, we'll give you a preview one right here. Mark Walson, T-Foss wants to know, who's the next Pistons coach?
I have no idea. Because you got to get rid of this coach first. but it's going to be someone that they feel can take them to a championship level.
Ime Udoka. Push him out the door, Boston.
You're waiting on it?
Yeah. Oh,
You're praying on it?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
My man's about to lose his job in Boston.
Yeah.
Just keep him away from the secretaries and stuff.
Now, I'm not getting involved with that. I need a guardian right now.
Yeah, that's true. You know, a lot of people need guardians because it's that time of year. And, you know, right now is the perfect time for you to have peace of mind and home security from Guardian Alarm, the most trusted name in home and business security. With their 24/7 local monitoring, you can have peace of mind knowing you are being backed by the best. Call 1-800
Stay out.
That's 1-800
Stay out.
One more time. How many days of flannel protection has it been?
138.
138 days. That is something. You call 1-800
Stay out.
right
Get
now
out of my house.
and let them know Woodward Sports and Big D Energy sent you. We'll be right back.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Ribbit, what's up, everybody? It's Spencer for Big Frog, and right now you can get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog. I don't even have one of those. All I have is the Draft Cocaine t-shirt, and I can't wear that. It's got Adam's face on it. So if you want a free Woodward Sports t-shirt, just go to Big Frog in Novi, tell them we sent you, and they will print you out one on the spot. That is Big Frog Novi. Go check them out in person or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Final segment of the show. Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxer. Got a question for anybody in the room. I'm curious to see anybody in the room. Go ahead and fire it away in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. First one we have here. Steven Syrett, by the way, says you could have Chesty Malone be his secretary. You support Chesty Malone.
I support that, but if she's a member of the organization, isn't that illegal?
I don't know if the Pistons have that in the handbook or not. I don't know. I don't get involved with that stuff, Terry. I don't. Jack Harrington asked Neal, am I going to get what Spencer got if Alabama loses to Tennessee or Texas A&M or Arkansas? No, Jack.
No. Yeah.
You win every other national title for like the last decade.
You're
dude.
Alabama. It's an institution.
They're giving 17.5 to Arkansas at Arkansas. That's way too many.
Hogs.
Way too many.
Special program though. They're going to get that. It's that Michigan tax. It's got the Alabama tax.
Yeah, it is. It's way too many points. I'm considering it.
KJ Jefferson is mobile, something that Nick Saban's defenses have struggled against at times. I would definitely, I'd say Alabama more by like 10 or 14, so I'd probably take Arkansas against that spread.
Steve O'Baby, WoodwardSports.com chat thread, asked Terry Foster, Terry, where did you get that hat? And thank you for being honest about the Detroit Lions.
You're welcome. First of all, I got this with Henry the Hatter, Eastern Market. On one of my little Saturday jaunts down there. That
you like Eastern Market? I don't go. I gotta start going down there.
Eastern Market's a good spot.
You haven't experienced it like I have. I go through the market, look at the fruit and vegetables. If Mama wants some peaches, I get her some peaches. Then I found a little spot where they sell clothing and stuff, so I go through there. But then afterwards, I go to Detroit Distillery and then Eastern Market Brewery. Because they have outdoor tables now. I go there, have a I used to have an old fashioned, but now I'm getting the Just Juicy in honor of our man Juicy here.
Yes.
And then get a beer called the Elephant. Get my hat. I'm on my way.
Sounds like a good day.
You're going to experience that next year. I can't take you this year because it's football season, and they're about to shut it down on October 31st.
Jack Harrington asked Spencer, are you excited for Spartan basketball?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
As excited as you were for Spartan football?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think, we obviously, football is a little different, but I'm excited. It's, Mel Tucker. Tom Izzo has talked about feeling rejuvenated. I listened to Draymond Green's speech when he came back, when he was inducted to the Hall of Fame, and he talked about not seeing Tom Izzo this adamant, this ready, this willing to go in a long time. So I expect we've got some high prospects coming in. So, yeah, I'm excited for it for sure.
But you know what? Tom Izzo is a psycho. They have their schedule set. So he said, we can give you one more game. All right, Gonzaga.
Kansas? Yeah.
Gonzaga on the aircraft
He
carrier.
does it every year. It's smart. It's smart because, college basketball isn't college football where one loss puts you out of it. And
well, you
he
play
gets
that
tournament
schedule.
Tested
Here's the
early.
deal, too. You play that schedule, you win 18 games, you're in the tournament. You can be, I don't know how many league games are playing in the Big Ten this year. I haven't said, 18?
Yes.
There's a 20 yet? No,
I
it's
think
18,
it's 18,
right?
yeah.
You can be 8-10 in the Big Ten. You play that schedule, you're in.
Yeah.
Win 18 games, you're in. No
Yeah,
matter
for
what.
sure. And it tournament tests these guys before even league games get started. So I'm always down for it. Give me Kansas, give me Duke, give me Gonzaga first week of the season.
Yeah,
sure.
I like when real teams play each other because technically you could just stay at home, never go anywhere. You can play Central, U of D, Eastern, Oakland, Wright State, and Chicago, Illinois Circle, whatever the hell that place is, and never go home, never go anywhere. Fill the arena, everybody's happy, and then you got your 12-0 nationally ranked. You can go that route, or you can find out how good am I.
Dwayne Boatwright says, and this is for the room, I'll go to Terry on this one. I want to know what is it that people have, why do people have this big problem with Dwayne Casey? That's a question I've always had too.
I think they don't think he gets enough out of his talent. And that he's too even keel. There are a lot of people who like their coaches to be fiery. They like for their coach to tell these young guys what's up. And Dwayne Casey is more of a lecturer. He's quiet. He just doesn't have that passion. Doesn't mean he's not a good coach, but fans want you to take care of these players because they make so much damn money. They need authority. They need somebody to tell them, hey, yo, what's up?
I saw this one earlier, but it was directed at me. It said, Neal, is Iowa a cover this weekend? No. Let's reverse engineer this.
What's the spread? Like 17 and a half?
10.5. So, Sam Flannel, is Michigan getting in the 20s this weekend?
My score prediction is 24-7 Michigan.
They can win 16-6.
All right, so they're getting in the 20s.
Yes.
I agree with Michigan at a baseline's getting in the 20s.
Yep.
Iowa's defense is pretty good.
It is good,
is.
but their
Against
offense
who?
is...
Against who?
No,
break it down. Against who?
That's a great point, but their offense is one of the worst I've ever seen in college football. The only way they score is by like pick sixes and scooping scores.
I'm telling you guys, this Iowa defense is a reputation thing this year.
Yeah.
Look at who they played, dude.
That's fair. I have to concede that point to you, man.
The big, the two defensive touchdowns they got against Rutgers, is that doing it for you?
Right, but all Michigan has to do to cover 10 is score 13 points. That'd be good.
I won't go that far, but if they get in the 20s, they're covering that number.
Yep, 100%.
Because Iowa's not going to get to double digits.
No,
they're not.
No, I mean, like I said, unless Michigan coughs up the football a lot, which I hope they won't. No way.
I just looked up Iowa's schedule, and it's funny every time I go back and see that San Diego State Iowa game 7-3.
No, not even San Diego State. South Dakota State.
South Dakota
the mighty
State.
Jackrabbits.
Don't give them that much credit, brother.
Yeah, South Dakota State 7-3. Yikes!
But
they beat
South
Nevada
Dakota, every time they go to
27-0.
Iowa, they're all pissed off and ready to go.
Yeah, they beat Nevada 27-0. Whose coach left? and took everybody with them. Like, come on, man. It was a rough offseason for the Mountain West.
Yeah.
Really, really rough.
Who had the tougher schedule, Michigan or Iowa?
Iowa. They played Iowa State.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one in there.
Yeah.
There was one team with a pulse in there. Real quickly here before we get out. Jack, ask Neal, does Sam Flannel get angry with the football gods? Is Sam Flannel angering the football gods with his Tom Kennedy slander?
So, of course, now the football gods just have Tom Kennedy on the pedestal. Come on, people. Come on.
We'll be back at it tomorrow, myself and T. Foss. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Sam Flannel, Spencer Rasher, good job out of you guys, as always. Epic says, I was told Iowa was a great program. You weren't told that by me. Maybe we'll talk about Iowa tomorrow. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports
Or
Network.
maybe not.
Well, see you later.